Hi there fellow guitarists, my name is Josh Rogers and welcome to NBN Guitar. In this tutorial I'm going to be teaching you what I think is probably the most effective Segovia scale to learn on the guitar. I'll go into detail why I think it's the best one and probably or possibly the only one that you need to learn to really develop your skills on the guitar. But first I'm going to play it and then I'm going to break it down to the left hand and the right hand, show you a couple of alternative right hand fingering suggestions, and then I'll let you know why I think it's probably the only one that you need to learn. Alright, let's have a look at the left hand. It starts off 3, 5 on the 6th string. You should use these two fingers, 3, 5. Then we move to the A string, 2, 3, 5. Then to the D string, 2, 4, 5. Then to the G string, 2, 4. Now here we have the first position shift, and we're going to be moving the first finger to the 5th fret, and we do 5, 7 with fingers 1 and 3. That move is 2, 4, position shift, 5, 7. Then we move to the B string, 5, 7, 8. Then to the first string, 5, 7. Then a position shift, 8, 10, then a position shift, 12, 14, 15. Then we're going to start descending, 14, 12, then a position shift with the 4th finger moving to the 10th fret on the first string, and we have 10, 8, 7, then to the B string, same, 10, 8, 7, then to the G string, 9, 7, then to the D string, 10, 9, 7, then to the A string, 10, 9, 7, then we have a position shift with the 4th finger, 5, 3, 2, then we go to the 6th string, 5, 3. And that's the left hand done. Let's try that again. Okay, so let's move on to the right hand. Now the standard approach is to play these with rest strokes, or appoggiando, starting off with index and middle and alternating. You can either start with index or middle, it's really up to you, but you should make sure that you alternate when you begin because it's going to introduce different kind of string skipping patterns in the right hand. So let's just do the most basic one and let's break it down into open strings. So what I mean by open strings is we're not going to do anything with this hand. I'm assuming that you've already learned this and figured that out, and so let's take that away, because one of the best parts of scales is that they teach you how to approach the guitar in a fairly linear way. So you just go up and then you come down and that's it. And one way you can break scales down is to just use open strings and just pretend that you are doing something down there. That takes your focus off the left hand and means you can focus on the right hand and break down something that might seem a little bit insurmountable at first into something that you can handle. So let's just start on the 6th string. It's just 2 notes on there, 1, 2. And then on the next string it was 3, 1, 2, 3. And then the same on the D string, 1, 2, 3. On the G string it was 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The next string it was 3, 1, 2, 3. And on this string, let's just go through these quite a lot on this one. 1, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So on the first string there's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then to the B string, 3, 1, 2, 3. G string 2, 1, 2. D string 3, 1, 2, 3. The A string was 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's just double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2. So we try that again, all open strings. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. What you do want to pay attention to is that you're using strict alternate picking there. You can practice it with apoyando, free stroke, staccato, however you want to do it. You can mix up the rhythms so that it's maybe a dotted like, or the other way around. Something like that. It's really up to you. The more variations you can come up with, the more solid your right hand is going to be. And then of course you put the two together. But that's basically it. That's the G major scale, Segovia style, done. Now let's have a look at why I think this is probably the only one you need to learn. First of all, I know a lot of people that are out there are just like amateur guitarists or just hobby guitar players. So for you, playing the guitar is something that you just enjoy doing by yourself. Maybe you finished a hard day's work or a tough day at school or something, and you come back and you play your guitar and you're just happy with it like that. Maybe the guitar is not going to be what you do in life. So for those of you, the G major scale, Segovia scale is far enough for what you need to do. Another reason is that I think it begins and ends probably in the most accessible places on the guitar. Once you start getting past the 15th fret on the first string, it's getting up into kind of strange territory, and probably more than 95% of nice, common classical guitar pieces never get that far. So, sort of getting up to the 17th fret and 19th, it's very rare that you would do that. Even in a lot of modern, nice classical music for guitar, you're not really getting up there. Most of the action takes place around here. The other thing that I think it's the only one you need to learn is it pretty much covers position shifts really, really well. As you can see in this scale, that's the first one. So there's one position shift. Then we have, that's 2, that's 3, and then 4, 5. So there's 5 position shifts in this scale, which is more than enough to help you learn how to start changing positions on the guitar. And as I said before, there's a lot of different variations for the right hand that you can do. So just to reiterate my point, I really don't think that you need to learn any more than this. Obviously there's a lot of Segovia scales, there's a major and minors, and it's my belief that unless you're really serious and you're probably going to be a student on the guitar at university or something, then you probably don't need to learn many more scales than this one. Scales are just a collection of notes thrown together, and you can use them musically, of course, but you can also use them technically, and this one is more about technique. I don't think you need to bog your mind down with all these different scales and put yourself under unnecessary pressure, like, oh, I've got to know the E double harmonic minor scale, and I've got to make sure I can play that across an entire octave, and all this kind of stuff. It's really not necessary. It's only really necessary if you're going to pursue guitar studies really quite seriously and go on to a higher learning institute like a university or a polytechnic or a conservatory. If that's you, then disregard what I'm saying and make sure you're learning all your scales, all your arpeggios. But if you're just enjoying yourself on the guitar, you're a hobby guitar player, a serious amateur, this is probably the only one you need to learn. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson and you understand a little bit about how to break a scale down, position shifting, using the right hand, experimenting with your scales. Let your fingers fly.